Welcome to the most underrated wrestling podcast in the world. You are now running wild with WellsMania Podcast. I am your host, the Kyle Wells, aka WellsMania. Be sure to follow me literally everywhere at WellsMania. This right here, episode 168 of WellsMania Podcast. And joining me, and you can see us, because we are doing video episodes, which can be seen on Spotify, WellsMania Podcast, and on the WellsMania YouTube page. So please do me a favor, follow me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and subscribe to WellsMania on YouTube. He is the world's greatest co-host, Payton. Payne, what's up, brother?
Nothing much, just enjoying my TikTok victories as of late.
And you will take a lap, your victory lap, so to speak, here momentarily. And people have been absolutely loving his guest appearances on WellsMania Podcast on the Road to WrestleMania. So he's back, the WWE Human Encyclopedia, Jared Giles. How are you, brother? And you look like you're no longer in that hotel lodge that you've been vacationing at.
Yeah, I had to take care of some business on some previous episodes, but wanted to be involved in the Wells Mania Madness, so I had to do some work to get some location. But I've got back at the homestead now, so
dude,
thanks for having me back.
Yeah, thank you for running wild. We always love having you on. Like I always say, you make the episodes that much smarter every time you are on, which means you are making Payton smarter and you're making WellsMania smarter. So your collection, man, that could be a full episode in itself.
Right, I love the giant goo.
Yeah, that's the kind of the centerpiece up here because of how much space it takes. So
yeah, I think one of these days, a random episode, we should just talk about some things that we really love in our collections, because the three of us combined, we could literally open up our own museum.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane. Yes. But yes, Jared mentioned it. WellsMania Madness. The results are in. Your votes are in. And after last week's episode, you might get another rant from WellsMania on this episode, because there's an upset in there that has no business advancing to the Final Four, and I'll save it for when we get there. But yes, the Final Four is set. We will reveal who will be going to the Final Four in the WellsMania Madness greatest WrestleMania match of all time bracket. But before Payton goes on his victory lap for his TikTok successes, I wanted to give out some shout outs real quick. And I did a WellsMania TikTok live WWE Championship title slap band giveaway. It's a mouthful. But Payton, you can't find, and for those that can see, you can't find these.
They are not at the Franklin Walmart. I was there yesterday, and I looked in the toy section. I looked at the party supply section. I walked all around that store and did not see them, if you will.
They are, yeah, they're a hot commodity, brothers. Like with my job, I'm an ASR for Alani and Prime. So I am in and out of stores all throughout the week. And these slap bands are only available at Walmart. And I found a box of them, but Payton texted me and he asked me, what Walmart was that? And for the life of me, I can't remember what Walmart I found them at, because like I said, I am in about 20 Walmarts all throughout the week. And let's face it, all those Walmarts start looking the same. It's like, where the hell am I? Am I in Greenwood? Am I in Carmel? Am I in Fishers? I don't know. All these Walmarts, they all pretty much look the same. Now, some of them are a little bit nicer than others, but hey, that's neither here nor there. So I did a TikTok live giveaway, and congratulations to Jessica Flick. Jessica Flick was the giveaway winner for this WWE Championship title slap band, and I've got 4 more. I've got 4 more of these. So Payton, maybe I'll give you one just so you can get one. But I will be doing more giveaways on my TikTok because I found out that this is a really good way to get rid of a bunch of stuff that's just kind of cluttering around. And who doesn't love free stuff? So follow me on TikTok at WellsMania. That's the only way that you have an opportunity to win these giveaways is to join me on my lives. I also wanted to give a shout out to Dylan Sean Stockley Taylor. Follow him on TikTok at DillTaylor97. Dylan Sean Stockley Taylor absolutely lights it up with the gifts. So Payton, hopefully he'll get into your TikToks if you haven't noticed them already. But this dude lights it up with the gifts. So thank you to Dylan Sean Stockley Taylor. It's a lot of names there. Also wanted to show some love to some fellow wrestling podcasts out there. A bunch of Marks, Brian Daniels, bunch of Marks. I met Brian at Squared Circle Expo. He's doing a lot of big things with his podcast, trying to get it to grow. And Ope a 3-way podcast, Brandon, Donnie, and Pierce. I just found these guys about a month ago. You can follow them on Twitter, Ope a 3-way podcast. That's OPEEH 3-way. And Brandon, Donnie, and Pierce. And their podcast is on Spotify and YouTube.
You froze?
So follow them, tweet at them, and tell them WellsMania sent you. Did I freeze?
For us on our end for just a second.
Yeah, just a second there.
Your audio didn't stop.
I did freeze. I know, right? I did freeze frame here, but yes, you can still hear the pipes from WellsMania. And my last shout out is to Matt Russell, who I didn't even know listens to WellsMania podcast. I saw Matt at a Speedway gas station yesterday, and he started really giving me my flowers for WellsMania podcast. He said, dude, I really love listening to your podcast. It's a lot of fun. It's very entertaining. You guys are great. Keep up the good work. And talk about Sports Fanatics some more on your podcast. Give us some Sports Fanatics stories from your past. So I thought about possibly doing that on a future episode of WellsMania podcast. But for those that don't know, I used to work at a sports store in the Greenwood Park Mall for about 14 years. It was called Sports Fanatics. Jared, you're familiar with Sports Fanatics. You went in there a few times.
Oh, yeah. Right across from, you're right by the GameStop, right?
It was right next door to the GameStop, but guess what? That GameStop has gone out of business. Just like Sports Fanatics, the owner closed up shop right before COVID. And I tell you what, I don't go to the mall as much as I used to, but that store is like a revolving door of what the hell's this store called? It's going to be some candy toy store now. It was some rock and bead store, and then some weird looking flea market store. It's the Greenwood Park Mall, man.
It's an interesting place these days.
Yeah, Payton, you frequent the Greenwood Park Mall probably more than Jared and I do.
Definitely more than me.
Yeah, I go in there Funko Pop hunting. That's where I go. Like Hot Topic and Box Lunch are places I go if I'm looking for certain Funko Pops. But other than that, I usually don't go in there.
Yeah, and the only reason I've been going into the mall more is because of Hellsberg, where I got my fiance's wedding ring. So I've been going in there and making payments and getting it cleaned and just making it look really nice because we're getting super close to being out in Las Vegas. I cannot wait. We are on the road to WrestleMania, and this past Monday afternoon in Glasgow, Scotland, that is where Raw took place. And for those who can see, yes, I spent more money on the John Cena farewell tour t-shirts. Fellas, my bank account probably wants to hit me with a "you can't see me."
Well, it's not going to get any cheaper for you the next month, bud.
No. No, as a matter of fact, I texted both of you guys yesterday, And with the free shipping on WWEshop.com, I bought both the London John Cena Farewell Tour t-shirt and I bought the Last Real Champion John Cena t-shirt. So yeah, Jared, it hurts, man. It hurts.
We're not even out of March yet. You got a long year left.
Yeah. I know. And my dad, because he'll ask me, what shirt have you bought now? What shirt are you buying next? And he's like, you're gonna have quite the collection by the end of 2025. And I said, I am, but it's gonna be worth it, because to say that I have all of the John Cena Farewell Tour t-shirts and to be able to create a TikTok live video of me wearing every single shirt, it's going to be pretty cool. So, but yes, this past Monday afternoon on Raw, John Cena kicked off the show, kind of gave us the same energy that he gave us in Brussels. He walked out down the aisle, got in the ring, and started talking shit to the crowd. And Payton, I'm not going to direct quote what John Cena said in there.
Thank God.
I know I got a little carried away on the last episode of WellsMania Podcast. But overall, what were your guys' takeaway from John Cena's promo in Glasgow, Scotland?
Jared, go ahead. I'll let you start.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it's not going to have the same, vigor maybe as last week, since that was his first time speaking since, the Elimination Chamber. I thought the last real champion and taking the belt with him as like, this is my last thing I'm going to do, like, to you people, is win the belt and then keep it all year and then retire with it. And then all you're going to have are fake champions, which is kind of funny because the world title originally, when it was brought in, they're like, oh, that's the fake title because Roman's not around. So a little kind of playback to that, I thought. And I thought it was good. I thought it was interesting. Like, Cena still hasn't responded directly to Cody. He's done his speech to the crowd in each of the countries. Cody comes out at the end, says things to John, and John kind of just absorbs it and walks away without saying anything. So I think we're gonna have a pretty eventually have a pretty fiery Cena response to all of this.
Ruthless aggression, and
I don't think so.
Is coming.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I don't think that's what this story is about. I actually I thought about it, and I this promo on Raw, it opened my eyes to, I think, what this feud really is. There's a lot more depth to this than just John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. I think everybody wants to see John Cena dismantle Cody on the mic. I think everyone you've seen the IWC. They're all like, oh, they're protecting Cody from Cena. There's those comments going around. I don't think that John Cena versus Cody is really what this storyline is. I think that what this storyline is John Cena versus the WWE Universe. That is the main event of WrestleMania. It's John Cena versus the fans. And the fans can't get in the ring and wrestle John Cena, so Cody Rhodes is fighting on their behalf. John Cena does not care about Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is insignificant to John Cena. That's why he's not wasting his breath on him. John Cena has made it very clear his only motive is to dismantle the love that the fans have for wrestling. Cody's just the guy standing in the way. If anybody is really the challenger for Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, it's still The Rock. The Rock is the one with the vendetta against Cody Rhodes. He's just using John Cena as the weapon. So there's really two layers to this match. There's The Rock versus Cody, and then John Cena versus the fans. But the two that are actually going to be in the ring wrestling each other is John Cena and Cody. I think the more that John Cena ignores Cody, that's almost worse than dismantling Cody on the mic, because he's telling Cody, I don't really give a fuck about you. You're not what this is about to me. It is about hating the fans. You're just the guy standing in my way.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. I can totally see that. Cena's actions are definitely speaking louder than his words towards Cody Rhodes. And I love that Cena isn't giving Cody what Cody wants from Cena. And he's going to save it. He's going to save it for maybe the go home to WrestleMania, or just wait to kick his ass at WrestleMania. But the build it's building. It's building. You can feel it more and more and more on the road to WrestleMania. And I did think it was interesting with Cena's choice of words, saying that he's going to ruin wrestling for everybody. And then, Payton, I know you popped for this, but he told us that he's going to go to WrestleMania 41. He's going to win number 17, and he's going to force us to forget the Nature Boy, the Woo Machine, or the Fun Machine, or whatever he said. Woo, Ric Flair. And then we will only say the name John Cena forever. And like Jared said, then he's going to take that title home with him, retire, and be the last real champion of WWE. Now, somebody did point this out to me, and then I did see a TikTok about it. We're getting a lot of similarities here to the feud with John Cena and CM Punk. Cena's kind of taking a page out of CM Punk's playbook back when John Cena feuded with CM Punk. Now, fellas, is this a coincidence? Because we are going to be getting the contract signing for that triple threat match between between Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk on Friday for SmackDown. But something kind of tells me that CM Punk wants more. Could we potentially see 2 triple threat matches to main event WrestleMania 41?
God, I hope not. I feel like WrestleMania 41 is starting to turn into WrestleMania 2000 with all of these multi-man matches.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up later with the build, but yeah, it's.
I mean, like the IC title looks like it's going to be a big multi-man match. The US title looks like it's going to be a multi-man match. I like. Are we going to have any one-on-one matches on this show besides Randy Orton and Kevin Owens? Like
Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton. That'll be one-on-one.
It's starting to feel like they're just wanting to get everybody on the show, and they're just throw a bunch of multi-man matches together to get everybody on the show. And I don't necessarily like that. I think you got to earn your place at WrestleMania, and you earn your place at WrestleMania by being one of the best stars and in the biggest storylines.
Jared, you said this back when we were recording at Johnson County Axe Throwing. You said something that has really stuck with me. And the closer we get to WrestleMania and the promos that CM Punk is dropping, man, it really sounds like whoever wins that triple threat match between Rollins, Reigns, and Punk will get a championship title match the next night in the Cena Cody Rhodes match. I think you did mention that like a couple months ago at Johnson County Axe Throwing. You said that it's looking like almost kind of the same situation that we had last year at WrestleMania, where the winner of the tag team match got to choose the stipulation for the next night in the main event. Do you think that we are going to get CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes versus John Cena?
Yeah, I think we are going to get that. I believe it was after the post Rumble show that the recap in the Rumble is where I said that I thought that was going to happen. I still think it's going to play out. I don't think it'll be this week. I think they're going to wait till next week, April the 4th, because SmackDown is in Chicago, Illinois.
There it is.
And CM Punk is owed a favor by Paul Heyman. Let us not forget So I think the favor and all that, I think something happens at the contract signing, what probably besides a big brawl again. And he kind of says, hey, I'm going to tell you my favor, or did you get, I think there'll be some allusion to that. And then he finds out next week he has the triple threat match has the shot. And I think that's the way it's going to go, to create a little, I think Cody Cena itself is a marquee match, so it's not
absolutely.
It's definitely not needed, but I think they put so much with those three characters of Punk, Rollins, and Reigns as wanting the WrestleMania main event in the lead up, that to just kind of drop it now seems, like, what are we doing? So,
but I don't. Is it dropping
it?
Is it dropping it if the favor from Punk to Paul is just get the three-way to be the main event of night one? Because that's still giving them their main event. Like, if he's just like, my favor is pull your political strings and get this triple threat match to be the main event of night one. I mean, that could easily be the favor.
I think it's already going to be the main event, regardless of the favor or not. Like, I think the favor is going to be, now that I've won this triple threat match, I want what is mine, and what is mine is the undisputed WWE title.
Yeah,
and
I guess
I think that's where he is going to, because picture this, you have that triple threat match close out night one, and you have CM Punk win, and Punk grabs the mic, and Paul Heyman's still out there, obviously. Heyman gets in, they embrace each other. Roman's, he's seeing it. He's pissed off. He's all mad. And then Punk says, oh, Paul, my wise man, by the way, my favor is this. And then he drops it right then and there. And then that closes out the show. So then waking up Sunday morning, we're all like, holy shit, CM Punk is going to be in the main event versus John Cena and Cody Rhodes, because then Cena can pin CM Punk in the main event to protect Cody Rhodes. Thus, at the end of the year, Rhodes can say, you never did beat me at WrestleMania 41. I want I want that opportunity for us to go one-on-one. And that potentially could be John Cena's very last match, the passing of the torch moment, so to speak, where Cody beats Cena, and then Cena realizes, okay, I'm going to go back to being the face and retire as a good guy, embracing Cody Rhodes.
I guess you have to ask, though,
it's just kind of where I see it going.
Does storyline wise, does Paul Heyman even have the power to make that happen? Like, he's not in a position of power. He's not a general manager. He is just a manager for Roman Reigns. So how does Paul Heyman have the ability to, like, yeah, you're going to be in the main event of WrestleMania tomorrow night, superseding guys like Triple H and even The Rock himself, who has orchestrated this entire thing? Like, why would the final boss allow CM Punk to be in that match?
It wouldn't be the final boss. It would be Triple H, because Triple H and The Rock.
The favors with Triple H then, not really Paul Heyman.
Well, no, it would be for giving Paul Heyman that idea, and then Paul Heyman goes and works his magic with Triple H, and then thus is the mouthpiece for advocating for CM Punk, and Triple H going to butt heads with The Rock, because we know those guys haven't always seen eye to eye. And I think it would be kind of fun for Triple H to be like, yeah, CM Punk's now in the main event of night 2 of WrestleMania. Go out there. You're in the triple threat. This is what I love, fellas. This is what I love about being on the road to WrestleMania, is all of us throwing out our ideas, because the closer we're getting to those ideas coming true or not so true. But I did, real quick, before we talk about what else happened on Monday Night Raw. I don't know, Payton, I know Jared saw this, but did you see that we got a reaction from the John Cena kid in Brussels, Belgium.
I did, yeah.
Okay, so of course he's speaking in his language that I do not understand. I'm thankful for translators. So here's the translation of the John Cena kid who went viral during the John Cena promo. And I quote, John Cena pointed his finger at me and I was honored. I didn't know he was going to shit on me, but I understood he was in character. To me, John Cena will always be a hero.
Denial and delusion.
I feel you, Brussels, Belgium kid. I don't care what John Cena says. He can do no wrong in my eyes, and I'm going to love him and support him even more. As a matter of fact, I got the John Cena spinner belt slap band right there. So I know he was cutting in the promo saying that so many people hated on the spinner title. I never hated on it. I've loved it. I've embraced it since day one. Hell, as you can tell, those that are watching, I've got both spinner titles on my wall. That's how much I love the spinner title. So, yeah, I'm excited to see where this John Cena, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins storyline goes. But there's something else going on right now. And
you're talking about the big debut, right? On Raw?
Yes, I am. We had a legendary debut on Monday Night Raw or Monday Afternoon Raw. El Grande Americano.
Yes.
El Grande
Talent.
Americano. The hype package for him was cinema, as the kids say, absolute cinema.
From the Gulf of America.
From the Gulf of America. We got to see the Gulf of America on WWE television. And I know that pissed off so many people, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I've embraced the Gulf of America, and you should too. Just like you should embrace El Grande Americano. And El Grande Americano, ladies and gentlemen, is not, I repeat, is not Chad Gable.
No.
They are not the same person.
He had a doctor's note.
Absolutely. He was sick. Some jabroni got Chad Gable sick. Thus, he wasn't able to wrestle, but that's okay because that meant we got the debut of El Grande Americano. Your guys' thoughts on El Grande Americano?
Love it. He's already one of the greatest luchadors of all time. He's obviously been around a very long time. Most of the shots we saw in his vignette package were like black and white, which means he's been around for probably a few decades, and the man is absolutely shredded for his age.
Very shredded.
I mean, he's out there looking like he's in his late 20s, early 30s.
Great tan too.
Yeah, and he's got to be, I mean, going off of the vignette, he's got to be in his, 50s?
At least.
I would say so. I mean
the
black
dude's
and
out
white,
there.
Man.
He's on the Rock routine or something. I mean, the dude was shredded.
Gracias.
My question is he related to Mr. America?
It's a good question.
Is there a connection there?
I would love to see an interaction between Mr. America and El Grande Americano. I feel like I'm always going to botch his name because I feel like I'm saying something that I should be ordering at Starbucks.
Yes.
Jared, your thoughts on El Grande Americano?
I thought the presentation was just fantastic. That was just top tier stuff. I've seen a lot of people that were like, well, the video package was AI. And I'm like, yeah.
No, that was clearly real.
I'm like, hey, buddy, he's a bad guy. You're not supposed to like him.
It's hard telling what's AI and what's real these days.
Well, that is very true. And a lot of people were like, oh, I thought they had racist undertones. It was a luchador gimmick. if you've
You want to know what it comes down to is people are way too fucking soft in this day and age. That's what the problem is.
SAWFT, soft. Yeah,
But
I love it.
But yeah, I thought it was a great thing. I wonder, with it being close to Mania season, I don't know how El Grande, making his debut if he's going to factor into WrestleMania or not. But
I've got an idea. You want to hear it?
It's got to be him and Ray, mask versus mask.
Well,
right?
It could be.
I think we are going to get ourselves a WrestleMania 9 moment. You remember what happened at WrestleMania 9 involving Doink the Clown, correct?
Yes.
We got the double doink, as Macho Man Randy Savage said, a terrible Macho Man Randy Savage. We got 2 doinks at WrestleMania 9. So I think what we are going to get at WrestleMania 41 is two El Grande Americanos.
Dos Grandes?
Dos
Grandes?
Americanos? Dos Grandes Americanos. And look at me. I can't even speak Spanish. I'm not good at Spanish.
True. We learned that from Muncie.
Yeah. Ball State. chirp right there. But in my crazy fantasy booking, whatever El Grande Americano is going to do at WrestleMania, there's going to be a moment where another El Grande Americano slides into the ring and they do the doink. They both gracias and they start imitating each other. And then all of a sudden, the other El Grande Americano starts beating the hell out of what will be revealed as Chad Gable. But the other El Grande Americano will reveal himself as Rey Fénix. That is what is going to happen. Rey Fénix is going to help Rey Mysterio, possibly if that's the match that we're getting at WrestleMania 41. He's going to help Rey Mysterio win and beat Chad Gable, a.k.a. Gracias, El Grande Americano.
You had me until the Rey Fénix thing. Then you lost me. Here's why you lost me is because the Rey Fénix video packages have exclusively been playing on SmackDown, and the El Grande Americano stuff has been happening only on Raw. So
yeah, brand split doesn't matter anymore.
But little stuff like that does. Like, why wouldn't they be playing the vignettes on Raw if it was not going to be involved in a Raw storyline?
Yeah, I guess. Like I said, I was just fantasy booking, and I really love the double doink WrestleMania 9 moment. It's an everlasting moment from my childhood, from what is arguably a very forgettable WrestleMania. But I still remember it after all these years. And I just think it'd be so funny if someone else was actually El Grande Americano. And we have been getting 2 this whole time, because we did see somebody behind Chad Gable that was El Grande Americano. I'm just saying, don't rule it out. We could be getting 2 of them because dos, as Jared said, dos. But yeah, I'm loving it. I can't wait to see where it goes. Something else that happened on Raw that we all kind of saw coming was the Intercontinental Championship match between Braun Breaker and Penta. It ended I said it was going to end in chaos, which it kind of did in a way, because Dom and Finn Balor got involved, and Braun ended up winning via DQ, protecting both Penta and Braun Breaker, because you put both of those guys up against one another on the road to WrestleMania. Neither one of those guys is losing. Both of their momentum is only going to keep climbing and growing and growing. And Payton, you alluded to this earlier. I do think we are going to get a multi-man ladder match at WrestleMania 41 for the Intercontinental title. What are your guys' thoughts on that? I mean, we've got a lot of players here. We've got Penta, Braun Breaker, the champion, Finn Balor, Dirty Dom, possibly Sheamus. What do you think is going to happen with the IC title at WrestleMania, Jared?
I think, the way Monday ended and the way things have sort of fell in thus far, I think we're probably going Fatal 4-Way.
Okay.
It'll be Braun, Penta, Finn, and Dom, because then you've had, obviously, Judgment Day has been going after the IC title. Penta's been going after the IC title. Dom tried the recruit. Penta, there's friction between Finn and Dom, and we know how he reacted last time. He thought a Judgment Day member got in the way of his title aspirations. So I think there's a lot of stories and connective tissue there. So I think I think the ladder match, I think you are getting a multi-ladder match. I think it's going to be the SmackDown tag titles with the way that's all been happening for the past 2 months. I think it's going to be a conglomeration of those 6 teams having that ladder match.
I agree.
Payton, what about you?
I think it's going to be a fatal 4-way, and I think that'll probably be the final nail in the coffin of Judgment Day imploding, or at least kicking out Finn Balor, because he's going to get booted. The question is who's going to replace him.
Yeah. Possibly Aleister Black. He could be coming back. Maybe Karrion Kross.
Well, Karrion Kross has been talking to Dominic in backstage segments in the background. So
I've been seeing that. And trust me, that would be awesome. I mean, the more Karrion Kross, and Payton, that's your boy, the more Karrion Kross, the better. The dude is so underrated, so underused. As a matter of fact, after last episode of WellsMania Podcast, I did what we talked about doing. I tweeted at Karrion Kross, and he said that he would come on WellsMania Podcast. So stay in touch with him. So we're going to get Karrion Kross on here. So hopefully his schedule frees up and he doesn't have to be on here a long time. Hell, he could just give us, 10, 15 minutes of his time. We'd be very grateful for it. So be on the lookout. Karrion Kross might just be the 4th square on StreamYard, because we are powered by StreamYard. Can you guys see the duck in the corner?
Yes.
Okay. I was curious. I didn't know if that was just on my end or if you guys could see the duck as well. What the duck is going on around here? Speaking of ducks, what's going on with Jey Uso? He clearly had the botch a couple weeks ago, and then this Monday, his knee buckled and he fell and he ducked down. That was where I was going with the duck reference. I don't know if it landed or not, but yeah, is he playing into what I said, that he's in his own head and he's got to overcome all these obstacles on the road to WrestleMania to fight Gunther?
I think that they capitalized on the botch last week. I think that the botch last week with the dive was real. And I
Absolutely.
think when it happened, they thought, okay, well, let's just lean into it and make this a part of the storyline. And then that's where you got the botch this week with the spear and the trip up. And honestly, I think it works, because now you're wanting to root for Jey going into WrestleMania. But more so than Jey Uso, can we talk about Jimmy Uso slapping the shit out of Gunther? That was the hardest slap I have ever seen.
Dude, that was so unexpected. I did not think that Jimmy was going to unload on Gunther like that. I mean, that was reminiscent of Cody Rhodes smacking The Rock a year ago.
That had to have been the hardest slap in WWE history. Like, you could even see it on Gunther's face. He was like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
What was that?
Which, Gunther chops the hell out of everybody.
Oh,
so
Jim's got a receipt coming next week.
I think
it ain't gonna be pretty.
Gunther has that strong jaw where he probably was like, yeah, you can slap me as hard as as you want. And then when the camera was on, Jimmy didn't hold back. Jimmy slapped the hell out of Gunther, like you said. And yes, receipts are coming next Monday, which we have another special start time because 3 p.m. Eastern time, Monday afternoon Raw live from London. And yes, I've got that London John Cena farewell tour shirt coming. So hopefully on next week's episode of WellsMania Podcast, I will be wearing that one. Jared, your thoughts on the slap heard round the world from Glasgow, Scotland?
Yeah, I thought the slap was just it was needed. I felt for the storyline because Gunther's been telling Jay for months, like, you don't want this match. You're not good enough. You're not going to beat me. I'm a real wrestler. And he had tried to talk to Jimmy a couple weeks ago on SmackDown saying like, hey, your brother, you need to tell him not to do it. Well, Jimmy's defending his brother now that they're back on the same page. And he's trying to help his brother through this crisis of confidence he's having. And so if Jay's not in a position to stand up for himself, Jim is going to stand up for both of them. That was the slap. And then I think when Gunther gives him his receipts on Monday, that'll spur the next part of Jay becoming more uninhibited and becoming more of a wild Samoan, if you will.
Well played.
So,
yeah, it's going to get really personal. And when you make things personal, things get emotional, people get heated. And yeah, we're going to see that. I like that wild Samoan side to Jey Uso. Are you guys ready to get to WellsMania Madness?
Let's go for it.
Do it.
By the way, Jared, how's your bracket doing in March Madness?
Well, the one for the I had two. One, I had St. John's in the championship, so that one's dead.
Ouch.
Yeah. My other one, the one I have for work, it's not doing too bad. It was mostly SEC teams, so I'm so far so good.
Yep, good bet.
So I counted yesterday. I have 12 of the 16 teams still in that bracket, so that one's doing pretty well.
Yeah, my bracket, it still has a heartbeat. I've got 9 out of the 16 teams that are still alive in the Sweet 16. The lovely Ashley Louise, who just filled out a bracket to fill out a bracket, she also has 12 out of the 16 teams. And I'm just like, really? You don't even care. You don't even care about this. But that just goes to show you, Payton, that you could fill out a bracket without knowing anything, and you might just do better than Jared and I. So next year. Yes, Jared.
And speaking of, now 2 weeks ago, we were on here doing the first selection, and the world's greatest co-host said, I don't even like basketball. And then Thursday night, I'm on Instagram scrolling, and I see a story come up.
Yeah.
And it's a picture of Payton at a bar with the NCAA games on, and it says Boys Night Out, and I'm like, we got kayfabed. What kind of rib is this, brother?
You want to know what that was?
What happened?
That was me showing up 4 hours late because I was hungry and needed to eat dinner, and they happened to be there.
Gotcha. I just thought it was funny after last week. After the 2 weeks ago, you're like, I don't even watch basketball. I don't even care. And then it's like, what am I seeing here?
No, I specifically told them, I was like, well, does the place have food? And they were like, yeah. And they're like, all right, well, I'll come eat then.
It was funny. I got a text from Jared saying, dude, is bro no selling us? He just told us he didn't like basketball. And here he is watching March Madness.
I couldn't tell you one team on the bracket.
You know what would be funny is if you filled out a bracket right now just to see how good your bracket would be, even though we are already in the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
But yes, we have results and not a lot of votes. I'm very disappointed in Twitter. Like, what the hell, guys? Seriously, how hard is it to vote? It's literally right there on your Twitter. And for whatever reason, you don't know how to click which one. I mean, this one pisses me off, so I'm already angry just looking at it. So
The big code dog.
Yeah, code dog. Number 16 seed Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns from WrestleMania 40 versus number 8 seed Randy Savage versus Ricky Steamboat from WrestleMania 3. 61% to 39% after a total of 28 votes. The number 16 seed Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns fucking advances to the final 4.
A real Cinderella story.
It does not get more Cinderella than this. Hopefully that clock will strike midnight on Cody versus Roman because they should not be here. There's no way that Cody versus Roman should be in the final 4, fellas.
The more that you talk about how you don't like it, the more people are going to vote for it.
Maybe this is all reverse psychology. Maybe I do like Cody versus Roman, and I'm just testing people to see where they'll go with their votes. No, I can't stand the fact that the 16 seed beat Hogan versus Andre. And then to rub it in my face, you beat another WrestleMania 3 iconic match, arguably one of the greatest intercontinental and technical matches of all time. It has no business beating Randy Savage versus Steamboat. What the hell's going on out here? Anyways, number 4 seed The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 25 versus the number 5 seed Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart from WrestleMania 13. Now, Big Papi, JD Roach, friend of the WellsMania podcast, he was pushing hard for Austin versus Hitman. Unfortunately, he didn't push hard enough because 59% to 41% after a total of 29 votes, the number 4 seed, The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, is advancing to the final 4. Your thoughts, fellas?
Not shocked. Like I said, I think that might be a contender to win the whole thing, knowing how people love that match so much.
Yeah, I'm not super shocked. Again, it's a little more recent. I think, depending on, again, the listener base or the voters on X at least seem to skew a little younger. So the closer matches that are closer have done better in the tournament thus far. But I was a little surprised because I saw that the Athletic came out with like the 20 best WWE matches of all time, and Austin and Bret was actually the number 1 on that list.
Really?
So that it came out like yesterday or 2 days ago. I saw it on X, and there's an article. So I thought, well, maybe this one's got legs, but no, it didn't. So
not enough legs.
So the first of our semifinals matchup is Cody Roman Bloodline Rules from WrestleMania 40 against Taker HBK from WrestleMania 25.
Yeah. And I'm just going to go ahead and say if Cody and Roman beats Taker HBK, we're done. We're done with this. We're not even doing a championship because people are just trolling at this point. So no, we're not doing that. We're not feeding the trolls, so to speak. Going on the other side of the bracket, the number 2 seed Hollywood Hogan versus The Rock from WrestleMania 18 versus number 10 seed Edge and Christian versus the Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys from WrestleMania 17. 62% to 38%, a total of 26 votes. The number 2 seed, Payton's all-time favorite WrestleMania match, Hollywood Hogan versus The Rock, advances to the final 4, as it should.
It needed to win. I love the TLC, but you can't compare the two.
Yeah, I mean, the right choice was made here.
Yeah, and the last of the Elite 8 matchups, number 3 seed Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock from WrestleMania 17 versus number 11 seed Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart from WrestleMania 12. 68% to 32%, a total of 28 votes. Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock are heading to the final 4, and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. Give me a
Again.
hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
There it is.
Again, the right choice won. I love the Iron Man match, but Austin Rock at 17 is on another level.
Yeah.
Which means number 2 seed Hollywood Hogan versus The Rock from WrestleMania 18 will be going up against the number 3 seed Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock from WrestleMania 17. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, the 16 seed Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns from WrestleMania 40, the 4 seed The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 25, number 2 seed Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus The Rock from WrestleMania 18, and the number 3 seed Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock from WrestleMania 17.
So The Rock's going to be The Rock's going to be in the finals.
Yes,
guaranteed. The Rock will be in the finals.
So I just now that when you were laid out the full semifinals, I kind of thought back to the bracket. So Austin Rock beat Hogan Savage in the first round, if I remember correctly.
I think so. Yes.
Yes.
And then so there was like the Attitude Era versus the Golden Era, some people call it. The second round was the Attitude Era versus the New Generation with Brett and Shawn.
The boyhood dream. Yep.
Now, hypothetically, if the other side has the upset, we could in the finals we could have the Attitude Era versus the current generation. And oh, buddy, that's been a debate all over the internet in the last year or so. So fascinating stuff could happen. I'm not saying
Kyle,
it will.
I think you'll be safe. I do think you'll be safe in this one. I think that Michaels and Taker
It's a hell of a match.
Is so beloved. I think that it's going to probably win. Now, Hogan Rock and Hogan Austin, flip a coin. I could see either one of those advancing to the finals.
It's kind of like a pick your poison of your favorite Rock match.
Yeah, whichever. I mean, they're back-to-back years. Which one do you like? But
yeah,
it's, I think you're going to get Taker and Shawn in the finals.
My question to you guys, okay? The Sweet 16 votes were awesome. We had like 431 total votes. I didn't add up the Elite 8 votes, but it was very underwhelming. My question to you guys is, am I allowing too much time between the time that I post this? Because I've usually been getting them up on Thursday, and then I let the voting go all the way till Tuesday. Am I allowing too much time where maybe the bracket is getting buried and people just aren't seeing the polls? Or should I maybe wait until next Monday to put the polls up so that way people have Monday and Tuesday to vote, and then we can reveal it next Wednesday? What do you guys think? Or does it even matter?
I mean, try Monday this time.
Yeah, I think Monday, Tuesday, especially last week, a lot of Twitter stuff got buried because of all the NCAA tweets and stuff, with all the games and people's brackets and things like that. So I think a shorter window might be voting window might be get more results. And especially if you can time it either right before or during when Raw's kicking off live, you kind of get mixed in with that conversation. So
that's exactly what I was thinking, because taking advantage of a live show will give people an opportunity. They're already on social media. They're already on Twitter. Well, not in Payton's case, because he'll be on TikTok live streaming. And Payton, we'll get to your victory lap here momentarily. Don't think I forgot, because I didn't. But I think I'm going to do that, fellas. I think I'm going to let people marinate on the Final Four, get people hyped, promote it, and then put the polls up on Monday, either right before London or during London, and then let it run wild. And if you're listening out there, do me a favor, vote first and foremost when you see the polls, but also retweet it, repost it, share it, get it out there. The more it is seen, hopefully, the more votes these polls will get. And hopefully the number 4 seed will knock off the 16. So then that way I don't have a meltdown on episode 169 of WellsMania Podcast next week. But yeah, fellas, this Final Four is stacked. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what the people end up doing for our championship matchup of WellsMania Madness, greatest WrestleMania match of all time. Now, Payton, you received a brand new nickname because I saw your TikTok of just people going crazy on your TikTok live and gifting you galaxy after 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 galaxy. Dude, you are Mr. Galaxy. Go ahead.
8 total.
That's insane. Go ahead and educate Jared, because Jared doesn't do TikTok very well. So he doesn't even know what a galaxy is. So
no idea.
Explain to him what is a galaxy and why is it so fucking cool when you receive one on TikTok live?
So when you're doing your TikTok live streams, people can send you gifts, and there's a ton of gifts they can send you. And the bigger the gift, it does special things on the screen, and it's pretty renowned that the one of the biggest and most like famous gifts you can get is that there's gifts bigger than this, but this is kind of the one that's like the biggest, most affordable gift for people that actually want to show that they appreciate you, is a galaxy. And it costs about $20 to send one to somebody. And you don't get them very often, and within a span of about 90 seconds, I got 8 of them, and it blew my mind. Just, I'd be lying if it said it almost didn't get me somewhat emotional, because I was just like, I'm sitting there and they just start popping off, and I'm like, what is happening right now? And it's like, yeah, it's nice. You get money from it. But to me, it's not about the money. I mean, it's a nice bonus. Don't get me wrong. But the fact that there are people that enjoy watching me enough that I can bring enough joy to in their day, because I don't know what's going on in their lives. I don't know where their mindset is at, that I can give them enough of something to where they feel the need to go out of their way to do that on that level, that much within a short amount of time, is absolutely crazy. So it'll probably never happen again. And it was such a cool moment. I had to clip it and share it as a video. It was crazy.
It is a cool moment, man. And congratulations. Yeah, Jared, these galaxies are few and far between. I have only received, I think, maybe 4 or 5 total. So the fact that Payton got 8 in one TikTok live, that's a rarity, man. So
within a 90-second time frame.
Yeah.
That's the craziest part. It was like they just started trying to one-up one another. It was wild. It really was wild.
Yeah. Congratulations on that, brother. And, maybe, just maybe, I'll receive 2 galaxies in a row. That's not asking for much, right? But yeah, Jared, you are coming so far along in the technology world. I mean, you've got a ring light over there. We can actually see you. You've got the headset with the microphone, so we hear you loud and clear. So pretty soon, man, maybe, just maybe, you will go live on TikTok.
Well, we will see. We will see. It's things are happening. Let's just say that in the content creation world.
You're coming a long way. Because, I mean, Payton and Payton goes.
I was going to say, I believe you and me are about tied now in followers. I believe we're like neck and neck.
I haven't even looked. Once I hit 5K, I was fine.
And I'm not
that.
saying that to brag. I'm saying we have reached about the same pinnacle of close to 5,500.
I think the last I checked, I was getting really close to 5,500. I think I was like 10 away or something like that.
I am 5,479.
Well, I guess if you pulled yours up, I'll pull mine up, and Jared's over there like, what the hell are y'all talking about? I've got 5,490 followers on the WellsMania TikTok. So and
we're about neck.
We're about 11 away from each other.
Yeah. And it's so wild because my social media platform followings are all over the place.
Like Facebook's like 25K, this 5K. X is like what, like a couple thousand.
Make it make sense. Like, where are all these people? Like, when my Facebook skyrocketed to 25K, and I think I'm at like 26,000 something on there. I'm thinking, I don't even really get on Facebook that much. Like, that's like out of all the platforms, that's probably the one. That and Instagram, those are two platforms that I don't really do much on. But yet my Facebook just skyrocketed. So I'm like, okay, all those people that follow me on Facebook, come follow me on TikTok. I would much rather, now beggars can't be choosers. Don't get me wrong. I'm not first world problems here.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. Facebook's like the least one that you want the followers on.
I would much rather have 26,000 followers on TikTok than on Facebook. But then that makes me think, maybe I should start doing more stuff on Facebook.
Start going live on Facebook.
Maybe I should, just to find out who these followers are. And I mean, there are real people out there. I mean, that's not 26,000 bots. I mean, those are real people that follow me all over the world. So it is really cool. However, I would really love to get a majority of that following to spread the wealth. Go to my TikTok, follow me on WellsMania TikTok and Twitter, because Twitter, man, I've been trying so hard to get to 2K. And where am I at on Twitter?
It's hard to get people to follow you on X. Like,
apparently it's hard for people to vote on there too.
You know, I will say though, I truly, and I'm sure you see this too, the most loyal of the fan bases is TikTok. Like, those people, like when they are dedicated to you. Now there's some that come and go. Like, there's people that you used to see like in the chats all the time that are not there no more. Even some of my people that were like paying subs, they go away, and like, I haven't seen that person in a while.
Right.
But then there's the people that are like every live they're there. You know what I mean? And
it's kind of like I hate using the word cult following, but it kind of is, I'm going to say more of a loyal following. That's why I gave shout outs to a couple of TikTokers earlier. And I've mentioned some on past episodes of WellsMania Podcast, because, dude, I know what we do here is nowhere near where we want to be, but where we are right now, there are people that wish they were where we are right now. Mm-hmm. So there are people out there who watch your TikToks, watch my TikToks, listen to us on WellsMania Podcast, and they treat us like a big deal because we are a big deal to them. And I absolutely love people who actually care enough to listen to what we have to say, and especially on TikTok. And I'm going to try eventually to go live on here via StreamYard. That's something when I come back from Vegas and I'm recovering from getting married and going to WrestleMania, I am going to really try to find a sponsor for the show. So then that way we can take the sponsorship money and then get a subscription to StreamYard, and that way put that money towards going live and then getting more revenue coming in our way, doing the TikTok lives and doing the WellsMania podcast live. And Jared, you nailed it last episode, man. Keep putting the word out there. If you, Jared, you, Payton, if either of you guys know of any business out there that would love to be a sponsor to the WellsMania podcast, send them my way.
We've got a lot of.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Payton.
I was going to say, if I knew any businesses, I'd be sending them to you and me, because we also need a sponsor for Wrestle With This.
Yeah.
And we, after, last week's show, we got done recording, we had a lot of conversations. So, I plugged the sponsor last week, trying to get a sponsor, and we got a lot of ideas and stuff coming. So I only see the WellsMania momentum rolling, and I know I don't want to give away any secrets from Payton, but I know Wrestle With This has some big stuff coming up. I know Smash Slamboree is coming back, a big event coming soon and I think you're going to reveal the date here shortly. Not yet, but maybe in our post WrestleMania buzz, we might get a little date on that or something, allegedly.
We're working on things.
So there's a lot of stuff going on between WellsMania, Wrestle With This. So now's a good time to get on board anything wrestling.
I would even throw this out.
It's like a multiverse. Wrestle With This, WellsMania podcast.
Yeah. I would even throw this out. Like, we don't even need a business to necessarily, and you could use this too for WellsMania. This is a thing for Wrestle With This. We don't even necessarily need a business to sponsor episodes. If you want to feel like want to be a part of an episode and you want to sponsor a match or something, you can do that as a fan, and we can let you know, like, we can tell people, hey, this match or this individual wrestling tonight was sponsored by this person.
Yeah.
If you want that special shout out and to feel like you have done something for the show, that is possible. You could even do that for this. You could be like, hey, this particular episode of WellsMania is brought to you by this person.
Yeah, I like that. I like that idea a lot. And me, I come from the world of radio, and I am no stranger to promoting people's businesses while reading. So it could be like, this episode of WellsMania Podcast is sponsored by Royal Spa. Royal Spa. I used to do that all the time when I was doing sports on WIBC. And I got to the point where I was live on the air, obviously doing this, but I would get so intimate with my Royal Spa, that my boss pulled me into his office and said, hey, you got to cool it with the whole Royal Spa. You got to bring that down a little bit. And I was like, hey, I'm just showing how much I love Royal Spa, how relaxing Royal Spa is. I mean, you don't make those noises in anybody else's spa, but when you're in a Royal Spa, you feel damn good. And you just want to go, Royal Spa. So yeah, Royal Spa, if you'd like to sponsor WellsMania Podcast, we can make that happen. Literally anybody out there with some generosity that wants to get their name out there. I mean, listen, we're not just some little carny show here. People actually listen to WellsMania Podcast. I mean, I've got people recognizing me when I'm out in public.
And
I'm sorry, go ahead, Jared.
And but I'm just saying, you're not Rinky Dink. You guys, between the two, you have about 11,000 TikTok followers, 25,000 Facebook. Every time you send out an episode, you're going to tag that person or business. So how many impressions, how many eyeballs? So, there's a lot of reach between just, a spot on the episode, just getting your company's logo or brand out there, just on what you guys do besides this episode, besides the hour, 2 hours they're with us listening.
Absolutely. Because there's one episode a week doesn't mean that's not all that we do. I mean, Payton's literally on TikTok live almost every day. I jump on TikTok live whenever I can. I'm constantly posting content on all of my social media platforms. And Yeah. So if anybody out there is listening that would like to sponsor Wrestle with This or WellsMania Podcast, please reach out to any of us, Payton, Jared, or yours truly on our social media pages, which, by the way, we will promote here once we do the go home. Fellas, that's really all I've got for this episode 168 of WellsMania Podcast. Before we go do the go home, is there anything else you guys want to get out there?
I just want to say for any of the listeners that are going to be downtown this weekend for any of the Final Four activities, hit up the Wild Beaver Saloon.
Ooh, while you're down there,
you're down there, just have yourselves a good time. Have a little drinks, get loose and go yell at the refs, cheer on a Purdue victory, and let's go Boilers.
Yeah, because we got Houston versus Purdue and Kentucky versus Tennessee.
Yeah, and those Tennessee people, I know a couple people from Tennessee, and they enjoy their drink skis, so they need to hit up the Wild Beaver Saloon this weekend.
Payton, Wild Beaver Saloon, have any little moonshine over there?
I'm sure we got some sort of deal going on.
A little Tennessee whiskey, a little moonshine, get all the volunteer fans riled up. Nice plug there, Jared. Payton, go ahead and plug your social media.
At TikTok, Stone Payne Productions. I'm actually currently doing watch-alongs of old WrestleManias leading up to WrestleMania.
Yeah. I thought I heard Gorilla Monsoon on one of yours the other day.
So I believe the next one I'm going to watch is WrestleMania 4. I've done 1, 2, and 3. So if you want to watch along some old WrestleManias, then you can definitely join in on that. Again, Stone Payne Productions, and then Stone Payne Prod on X.
Well, when you get to WrestleMania 8, I would love to go and do a simulcast with you. I'll do a watch along with you. I think that'd be a lot of fun because WrestleMania 8 forever holds a special place in my heart.
It's behind you.
Yeah, it's right here. Right here. There's a poster. Bret the Hitman Hart versus Rowdy Roddy Piper, and my plans for Squared Circle Expo 5 is to get the Hitman to sign this poster with a pink paint pen. I think that'll look really cool, and maybe get a pro photo op with the Hitman because I was robbed of one all those years ago. Jared, you know that story.
Oh, we'll probably talk about that the Squared Circle Expo week.
Yes, we will. And as a matter of fact, I've already reached out to Ed Gonzalez, one of the creators of Squared Circle Expo, and he has agreed to come on a future episode of WellsMania Podcast, probably the week before I leave for Vegas. We'll have Ed Gonzalez on, and that'll be a Squared Circle Expo episode where we talk everything Squared Circle Expo then, now, and forever together. So I look forward to Squared Circle Expo 5. Jared, plug your social media before we get out of here.
At Twitter/X, JC Giles, trying to become more active on there, and depending on the feedback, maybe we're gonna venture out into some other social medias as we roll this thing along.
You should, man. I don't call you the WWE Human Encyclopedia for nothing. You are one of the most intelligent wrestling fans that I have ever had the honor of calling my friend and my brother. So thank you so much for running wild on WellsMania. Thank you to the world's greatest co-host, Payton Payne. Hey, be sure to follow me all over everywhere at WellsMania. You can buy WellsMania merch at brainbustertees.com. So all the money that you're paying me is going right to WWEshop.com for the John Cena farewell tour. So, and also, fellas, I don't know if either of you guys knew this or not, but people are actually booking me on Cameo.
Hell yeah.
So, but they're booking Megamondo. So technically, yes, it's under the WellsMania brand, but it's been nothing but requests for Megamondo. He's done like 4 cameos.
So. You know what's funny is I've actually been debating. I've had some people say that I should start doing TikTok lives as Isfan and Dodge.
Ooh.
You should, but you should do them on the Wrestle with This TikTok.
Yes, I'd have to get it up to 1,000 or enough followers.
Okay, that's a challenge for the people. If you want to see those TikTok lives, we need 1,000 followers.
Oh my God. Just imagine this. On the Wrestle With This TikTok, we get lives of different WWT superstars. Could you imagine Mega Mondo doing a TikTok live?
That'd be awesome.
That would be insane. Could you imagine Ravishing Anton doing a TikTok live? I mean, the possibilities are
just
endless.
different.
That's a great idea.
You get an hour with each character. I'd have to be careful as Isfan. He might get us banned pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But
just make sure not to be driving. We learned on that one.
Oh my God.
But
it sucks so bad that my account was suspended when Chris and Payton and I were in Cleveland because I wanted to go live. I wanted to go live, but I couldn't. I couldn't go live for 24 hours.
Dude, TikTok.
And by that time, it was over.
TikTok is, you got to be careful on live. They will flag you for anything. And they'll flag you for stupid stuff. And it's like, what did you even get me for? Like, I've gotten some where, this is it. I got one the other day because I was talking about the stupid Jon Moxley Edge match from AEW.
Yeah. I saw those highlights
where he landed on the nails. Okay. So a lot of people in my live were wanting to talk AEW, and I started talking about Tony Khan. And I said some stuff, and I was like, Tony Khan's a dipshit who doesn't know how to run a wrestling company. They flagged me for hate speech and harassment because I was talking about Tony Khan.
Yeah. I mean, remember
you gotta
when
be careful on there.
Remember when I got kicked out because of what Chris said?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why the hell did I get kicked out? I didn't even say anything. It wasn't even me.
Yeah,
but
you gotta be cautious.
By association, just because I was in the live, I guess they just chose me to boot out. So.
But the problem is it's all bots. That's the problem. It's just all, there's not actual people looking at this stuff.
No, and you're right. You got to be careful with the words and some of the things that you say and how you say them, because it can be taken out of context. So, but all my years working at the radio station, I censored myself. So I'm able to turn it on and turn it off. So I can go ruthless aggression at any given moment, but then I can also keep it PG, keep it clean.
Yeah. Well, I had to, this is funny because I remember at one point we were actually doing a live, and I think we were talking about micro wrestling, and I got flagged for saying something. And then, so during WrestleMania 3, during the King Kong Bundy, Hillbilly Jim, Little People match, I had to mute the match because they say the word midget a lot in the match.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got to mute it because my TikTok is going to hear Jesse Ventura going, he's going to get the little midget. And then they're going to flag me for it because they're going to think I'm saying hate speech. And I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. I got to mute this match. I'll just tell you what's happening.
And that's another thing too, is this is professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, this is scripted entertainment. I mean, the things that we see on TV are in a whole different category of out in the real world. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that wrestling isn't real. That's not what I'm saying. But when you're talking about wrestling, I mean, you can get away with saying a lot of things because it correlates with the storylines that are being told. Like Val Venus getting his penis chopped off by Kaientai.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that almost happened.
It did.
Choppy, your pee-pee. I'm sure I'd probably get flagged on TikTok for saying that phrase.
Oh, if you went on TikTok and dropped the word penis, you'd probably get flagged.
Which it blows my mind. No pun intended. Penis is a part of the human anatomy. I mean, that's literally what the male reproductive organ is called.
Yeah, it's interesting. I will say, do we have any predictions? We're 2 weeks away from the next TikTok ban deadline.
Yeah. I wasn't going to bring that up because I
It-
know how emotional you got last time.
I'm just now. I am fully convinced that he will just sign another executive order pushing it again. He's already kind of said as much because like they were like, there's no way that a deal could have been made within those 75 days anyway. So I'm not really sweating it whatsoever. But long-term predictions, do you think a deal actually ever does get made, or is this going to be one of those things where he just keeps signing executive orders, extending it into the future until these 4 years are up, and then hopefully what happens?
I think that TikTok is it's going to be around. It's great. It's what got me elected again as president of the United States of America. And I believe that the fine people in America deserve TikTok. So, yes, I am going to extend the TikTok deadline, and we will find a buyer, an American buyer, The Gulf of America, how great is that? It sounds so great. El Grande Americano. I love that guy. But yes, to answer your question, Payton, I am going to extend TikTok, and we are going to make TikTok great again.
Good. So will I be able to say the word midget without getting flagged?
You can say whatever you want. It's America, freedom of speech. You
Awesome.
can do and say whatever you want. Do you know how many people out there absolutely hate when I do an impression of Donald Trump because they hate Donald Trump that much? They hate me because I am doing an impression of him.
Have you thought about doing that on your TikTok? Because you'd probably kill it. There's a lot of Donald Trump impersonators on TikTok that have gotten famous.
I've done my Trump impression a couple of times on my TikTok live, and when I do it, I get more positive reaction than negative. That's the thing though, is I don't really get a lot of negative people in my TikTok.
I do.
I think they go more to you.
I'm a magnet.
Which here's a perfect example of some feedback that I received on the last episode of WellsMania Podcast. I had 4 different people reach out to me and say, dude, you can't turn heel. You cannot turn heel. We cannot have a WellsMania heel turn run. That would absolutely ruin the podcast game.
Well, because I'm already the heel.
And that's what Jacob Phillips said. Jacob Phillips.
Unless we do the Austin Brett double swerve.
But can you?
The problem is I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can be the baby face.
Can you really be a baby face who's constantly positive all the time and finds the good in everything that they see?
No, I can't.
I know, man.
It wouldn't be
tough.
Me. It wouldn't be me.
But yeah, I told everybody that commented, I said, listen, I just had a moment, okay? We all have that moment where we just go off the rails, a little unhinged, show that little ruthless aggression side that I have inside of me, and just know that I can let it loose at any given moment if I want.
So now we're talking about TikTok haters. What is the number one? Like, do you have your 1 or 2 jabs people throw at you in your TikTok, either comments or TikTok live stream comments? Because I have mine, and they happen every time I go live.
I don't necessarily get a lot of jabs. I get celebrity lookalikes more than anything. Like the amount of people that I look like, the list is growing and growing and growing. But as far as like people coming at me, I can't really think of anything where they're taking a jab at me. What about you? What are the haters saying about you?
Well, I was curious that we didn't have the same one. It's amazing to me that in this day and age, people still try to make being bald like an insult. I get that one a lot, which
Why?
is crazy. I have no idea. I have no clue. I'm like, is that really and here's what insult, like, I get the Mr. Clean reference a lot. I'm sure you've even been in there when you've seen people use the Mr. Clean one.
Now that you say that, I do recall seeing somebody call you Mr. Clean. And I commented and I said, you do realize Mr.
He's
Clean
ripped and
is a
famous.
buff badass millionaire.
I wish I was Mr. Clean.
I mean, come on, do better, people. Find better insults. There are worse bald people out there that you can call Payton than Mr. Clean.
This is where I'm at, and this is because I'm a heel at heart. It more so irritates me that people go for the low-hanging fruit, like being bald, or they'll go for like the glasses or something. They go for the lowest hanging apple on the tree. And I'm sitting here as a heel being like, that's the best you got. Like, it's insulting that you can't come up with better insults. And what irritates me more is I'm like, I can't give you my full-fledged insult because I'll get banned for harassment and bullying. So I have to just sit here and take it. I can't respond. I just have to block you.
Do people come in? You just made me think of something. Do people come in and like ask you if you're tough?
Yes.
Can you fight? Are you hard?
I get that a lot.
What the hell is that? Yeah,
I get that, dude. Every live.
Is that
every live?
I'm 38 years old and I try to stay up on like the lingo, like the cool phrases that people are saying.
Dude, I don't know.
So
kids nowadays are.
Is you tough? What does that mean?
I don't know.
What is the meaning to is you tough?
My response every time someone asks is, I'm like, the link to wrestle with this is in my bio. You can go figure out there.
There's gotta be some sort of diss that they think that they're saying, but really they're just coming off as an idiot because we're grown ass men. And when you ask, is you tough? What is you even saying? Like, what does that even mean? Is you tough?
I don't know. And then when you don't answer, they just spam it in the chat.
I have gotten some spammers that, and my favorite thing when the spammers start spelling, like one guy called me a dickhead, but instead of writing it out in the full dickhead, he literally put D-I-C-K. And I'm sitting here watching it and I'm like, all right, let's see if you spell this word right, pal. Yeah. Like I play with them. I troll them back. Yeah. And then usually when you do that, they get out of there. They leave because you're not giving them. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to get an angry reaction out of you. But if you don't give them what they're wanting and you actually flip it, dude, I'm like the master of flipping things back on people. And I do it in such a roundabout way where they're so dumb, they don't even realize what's happening right before their very eyes.
Have you ever banned someone and then they come back on a different account like 10 seconds later?
I can't prove that it's them, but
it's them. They're saying the same thing.
But yeah, you get people who do come in and they, is you tough? Like, wait, are you the same person that asked me that on another account?
Yeah.
Is you tough? I'm going to tweet that out. What does "is you tough" mean? I'm gonna do that right now while we're going home here.
We'll end the show with that. Is you tough? That's got. I don't know. Look, I'm technically Gen Z, but my mind is so far ahead of Gen Z. I don't know what the fuck they talk about.
Here, I'm putting this out on Twitter. What does and tough is spelled T-U-F-F, by the way.
Yeah.
What does "is you tough" mean? Posted. That's running wild on the Twitter right now. So we'll see
we'll check the mystery next week.
Yeah. Listen, we'll report back next week. And by the way, I am still waiting to hear back from a couple of guests that I have lined up on the road to WrestleMania. I know we mentioned green shirt guy. He liked the tweet that I tweeted at him, but he never followed me back. So I'm not able to DM him because his DMs are not open. So that one's going to be tough, but I'll stay up on that one. Jared actually saw that the shocked WrestleMania Undertaker guy tweeted something out. So I then tweeted at him, but never heard anything back from him. And fellow TikTok creators, Tag Team Twinning, they're on a heater right now. They have surpassed both of us.
I was actually going to talk about this earlier. You know how earlier you were talking about there's people that like look up to us and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Then there's the people that started below us and have surpassed us that we will probably never catch. And they are them. It is crazy how quickly they have I go into their lives. I can't even chat. Their chat's moving so fast because there's like 80 people in there that I'm just like, I'll just send some gifts because my chats aren't going to get read because there's too many people in here.
I've noticed that when I try to get in there and talk, my comments just get buried.
Yeah, there's no point.
And here's the thing too. It's not like they're no selling you. Your comments, like we literally have just a little space where we see comments. So
you and I know you can only read about 3 comments before they go and get lost.
Yeah, because everything happens so fast on a TikTok live. And every time you send gifts, every time you like the live, every time people join, everything's getting moved up the ladder or down the ladder, whichever way you look at it. But man,
they're awesome. Definitely go follow Jordan and Sydney. Go follow them. They are fantastic.
Yeah, my goal is to get Tag Team Twinning on. Hopefully, I'm going to reach out to them. I'm going to ask them what they prefer. Do you both want to come on the road to WrestleMania? Because they, like me, they'll be out there in Las Vegas. And my plan is to meet them and to do a TikTok with them. Because it's always fun when you meet fellow wrestling creators, podcasters, and just fans in general. So I'm going to ask them, would you rather come on WellsMania Podcast on the road to WrestleMania? Or do you want to come on WellsMania Podcast after WrestleMania? So then that way they can share their experience. So I'll see what they want to do. But I think having them on would be a lot of fun, because they've shown great interest in wanting to come on an episode and talk wrestling with us. And plus, when's the last time we had a woman on WellsMania Podcast besides my fiance?
We've tried a few times.
It's tough, man. It's tough to find female wrestling fans who want to run wild on a podcast and talk pro wrestling. But Jordan and Sydney are not afraid. They are constantly putting out content. So follow Tag Team Twinning on Instagram and follow Tag Team Twinning on TikTok. I know we've gone a little over from where I thought we were going to end the show, but that's the beauty of this show, is you never know where it's going to go. Is that it, fellas? Is that all we want to get out there?
I think we hit it all.
All right. That is the go home. Thank you all so much for running wild on episode 168 of WellsMania Podcast. Thank you to the world's greatest co-host, Payton Payne. And thank you to the WWE Human Encyclopedia, Jared Giles. Be sure to follow me all over everywhere at WellsMania. Until next episode, take care, stay positive, run wild, and dominate the day.